Ciao.
Ciao.
Buongiorno.
Arrivederci. We, and by we, I mean the two of us and all of you are going to Italy.
Okay, we are officially opening the floodgates for you to come with us on a trip to Italy.
We are partnering with Trova Trip. It's going to be an absolutely amazing trip. We are putting on a survey to survey our listeners on where they want to go, but we're going
It's going to be Italy. So go ahead and check off Italy, but write your budget, write your ideal times, write everything else that the survey asks. We need those responses in so we can officially announce the trip and you can officially book and join us for a week in Italy.
And a week in Italy, only 20 to 24 people can go. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the time of our lives, something to look back on for the rest of our lives.
And it will be obviously immortalized in one of, if not the best Good Children episode of all time that everyone who's on the trip will be a part of, a character in. It literally, like, we're talking food tours, we're talking cooking classes, literally just being in Italy. We're gonna see where they filmed the Lizzie McGuire
We're
movie.
hanging out, like, all I'm thinking is, like, someone's crying, like, about like their feelings. I'm there. I'm like, no, you're amazing. You're slaying. I'm obsessed with you. I'm crying. You're consoling me.
Everyone's crying.
Everyone's crying.
Everyone's sobbing the whole trip.
Healing the entire trip.
I can't wait. I cannot wait, but we cannot announce it until survey responses are in. So surveys are at the link in all of our bios, at the link in this episode description, anywhere you can possibly find a link. Go ahead and find it, click it, fill it out if you want to come, and then we will be coming at you with a new announcement later on this fall with official dates for next summer to book your trip.
Let's be Lizzie McGuire together.
Ciao.
Ciao. I do want to ask, and I want you to be as honest and open as possible.
Am I going to get a license?
One, are you going to get a license? And two, do you have any feeling like
shame, embarrassment, trauma?
No. I'd be honest, but I always wonder, like, when you're handing your license to a bouncer.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. And I don't. Do you know why? Because if I've learned one thing in my 48 years of life, it is that bouncer does not give a fuck about me. They're not looking at that and thinking twice about me. They do not care. They do not care about if I have a permit, if I have a non-driver's ID, or if I have a license. They don't give a fuck.
I think that's the story of life.
Well, it's like, true. No one gives a fuck about you.
No one does. No one cares about you.
And we're all delusionally thinking that everyone is thinking about us 24/7. Guess what? Not true.
Not true. Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. No one's thinking about it.
Wake up. Nobody cares about you.
Good children. Joe, what you were doing?
I'm getting crazier.
What you were doing is what a vocal coach wishes they could teach.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our 22 years of friendship.
Growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
And all of the nostalgia,
trauma,
and experiences behind the wheel of a motor vehicle that come along with it.
I mean, like, it's really crazy that we keep coming up with these ideas to, like, for themes of things that you've never been behind a wheel of a motor vehicle. Actually, that's a lie.
I've been behind the wheel of a car, yeah.
You have.
And I've been in your car many times.
You've been in my car many times.
This week on Patreon, come with us to Costco.
Can you believe that we decided to take our little asses, our small asses, and walk through the door at Costco?
Why are you always coming out of the garage?
What's up?
Why don't you?
Because I don't have a front door key. I don't have a front door key. We hit the jackpot. Hot sauces. Would you do for that bag of crispy onions?
I'll tell you one thing.
This is a waste of a day.
I would never come back here again.
No, we're not coming back.
And did you know that as when we were seniors in high school, Andrew was wearing a neck brace, but he would take it off when he came over so we didn't see it?
Oh my God, Andrew. Literally, anytime I hear anything about you, it's another strike.
Do you think that this Costco knows that two of Long Island's biggest content creators are coming there today?
You would think that the spirits were high.
But we brought along my sister.
Sometimes I would consider her like the Grim Reaper of energy.
You think I'm bad? Just wait until you meet Amanda on Patreon. Lady Gaga got her license in her early 30s, and she took a documentary crew. And that is my plan. And that is my plan.
You want to make this content, you getting your
Everything
license?
I'm doing, yeah.
I guess so. I guess
It's
at
not
this
even
point.
content, it's just documenting.
I guess it is. But
I
like,
was
don't
here.
you ever feel like you want to just get behind a wheel and escape and get out of this mess?
No, I've said it before, but the only reason why I want to drive is so I could listen to music and drive. Like, I think that I'm missing a prime opportunity to listen to a prime environment to stream.
Absolute stream and scream.
I've never screamed in my life. I used to scream ferociously.
Listen.
Anytime I wanted.
Oh, jeez.
You know?
Oh, jeez. I know. I'm a big screamer.
Well, yes.
I mean, in so many different ways, but especially behind a wheel.
Are you?
I'm a huge screamer.
Like singing, screaming, or yelling at people? Like
Both.
road rage?
Both.
I imagine you have a lot of road rage.
Yeah, because I have a lot of things pent up inside.
Yeah, rage, period.
Rage, period. I'm not
Have
a
you
big...
let it out? Have you ever let some rage out? I feel like yes. Lonely?
Lonely, for sure. Also, when I was boxing.
Yeah, when you were boxing.
When I was punching bags.
I still think you'll kill me.
Do you think I would?
I think my whole goal is to push these buttons on you, and I think one day I'm gonna push the wrong button, and you're just gonna literally come at me and snap my
your
neck.
Yeah, like it's crazy that we both said snap your
the
neck at the
yeah.
same time because, like, I guess that's
That
how
makes it a
would
lot
be
worse.
done. When it comes to other drivers on the road, what are you doing? Like, if you're not gonna stop at 1, a stop sign, 2, a red light, 3, cut me off. No, I don't want you anywhere near me. If you're going to get off an exit and there's a long line to get off that exit and you think it's your world and we're just living in it.
Nothing more enraging than watching someone try to merge into like an exit at
the last minute.
the last possible second. Who the hell do you think you are?
Are
Who
you
the hell do you
kidding
think you
me?
are? You think everyone's doing it for fun? You think everyone's just sitting in this line because they want to?
I don't even
You don't
care
think
if you were the
everyone wants to do
president
that?
of the fucking United
No.
States. Get to the back of
of
the
the
line,
line.
bozo.
I watched an hour and 45-minute documentary last night. Believe it or not, because you left my
Whoa.
house pretty late. I watched an hour and 45-minute documentary on the history of lines in Disney World.
The history of lines?
Technically the history of fast passes, but it was all about lines.
Tell me a little bit more about that because who thought about the fast pass?
Well, it's quite interesting. I couldn't tell you his name. Basically, but prior to Disney, you know a zigzagging line. You know how you get in the line, you think, oh, this line's short. No, you're going back and forth and back.
Of course, they love
That's
that.
Disney. That's Disney. They invented that at the 1962 World's Fair. They came up with it. I think it might be called the zigzag line. It's something like that. Like a turn and switch.
Because the thing is about a zigzag line, especially when there's not enough people on that zigzag line, and then you're on an obstacle course.
But don't get me started.
I'm a rope
when
thumper.
someone does, you go under the rope.
I'm limboing.
I can't stand a limboer. I don't like. Listen, I'm about law and order. When there is a line, when there are cues, when there are ropes up, and you decide you can skip that rope, you can go under or over that rope. Yeah. Who's to say? Can you kill someone next? Yeah. It's like, what laws are there then? What happens to the sanctity of this nation?
I'm experiencing extreme guilt.
Oh God, no!
I just am feeling like.
Oh no!
I'm just feeling like I just went on like this rant about people cutting lines, like getting off the exit, and like who the hell do they think they are, like making up the rules, and like, and I think that there's a direct correlation between the people that limbo under the ropes on a zigzag line and those that cut at the last minute on an exit.
I'm gonna say one thing: you don't cut at the last minute on an exit.
No,
now
Joe,
that we're circling back.
Let's be honest. You think you think my anxiety can handle that? I would think if we get hit, the person's gonna come out of the car and beat me the fuck up on the middle of the highway.
I'm terrified of road rage.
Yeah, it's scary because people, you never know. Because like,
is it happening across the world or is it just a U.S. thing?
Road rage?
Yeah.
I have to say it's across the world. Anyone in a car who's a little bit angry can be a little bit rageful.
I just feel like United States citizens are more rageful than other countries.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Well, that was part of it. So that's in this documentary about lions. I can't. Sorry. In this documentary about lions, they're talking about how the only two countries, like, Americans are the most difficult when it comes to lines. They don't like waiting on lines. Second only to the French.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Let's put the French and Americans on the same highway and let them go at each other.
And they wait. You make them wait in a zigzag
in
a car.
Zigzag line in a car.
Basically, long story short, with the zigzag lines, in the 1962 World's Fair, apparently the lines were crazy. Someone at Disney was like, "Hold on, what if we make these loop over each other? You know, like a snake." They're like, perfect. They're like, let's get to work. Every single ride in Disney's zigzag lines. People start getting tired of it because also at this time it was to encourage socialization with strangers. That doesn't happen anymore.
If I'm on a zigzag line,
I don't want to look.
I actually would rather nothing less than to talk to somebody. I'm not looking left or I'm not looking right. I'm only looking forward.
Well, I'm always looking to see who's gay.
I guess that is kind of fun when it comes to a zigzag line. It's kind of gives you the opportunity to be like, what's their story?
Are they happy? Are they mad? And you never want to be the most pissed off person in that line because everyone's judging you. No one's thinking about you, but everyone's judging you.
They could care less about you, but they're thinking
like,
about how
you're being a bitch on the zigzag line.
Really, really bitchy. Now, that's so interesting about Disney. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Speaking of waiting, driving.
I don't like... Listen, I do love traffic. I don't love traffic, but I don't like to hear when people are like, I hate traffic. Like, LA, I can't live in LA because of the traffic. I understand. I don't live in LA, so I can't fathom what the traffic is like. But turn on a good song.
Getting angry at traffic is a heterosexual male thing. Like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a dad thing. Like, when my dad would, like, get pissed off on a road trip because of traffic, I was like, grow up.
And then you get in the traffic and you're cutting off people. You're going in and out of the traffic.
Making it worse.
I'm like, okay, so you saved 1 minute?
Grow up. Literally grow up. Like, all dads specifically need to grow up. Like, that's the biggest thing. I used to always be like, how am I 8 and more mature than you in this situation?
But I do get, like, if you have a place to go and you have a place to be and you need to be there by a certain time, it is frustrating when you're late.
Of course. We live in New York. That's the history. That's the whole thing. It's just being late at all times, every situation. The trains, don't get me started.
The trains are late lately.
The trains are terrible.
What's going on?
You know about Tube Girl? We get to make our own Tube Girl videos in London.
Who's Tube Girl?
Tube Girl. She's this girl in London who's like does like really hot videos of herself on the tube. We're doing it. I can't wait. Should we bring her on the pod?
I think we got
Tube Girl on the pod. Yeah. Have you ever experienced stress related to driving?
Stress related to driving, I would say that most of my stress growing up was when I was behind a wheel.
Well, when your windshield wipers were stolen.
Well, 1, my windshield wipers were stolen. 2, I got into an accident. So coming back from that accident and getting back behind the wheel, it's a little traumatizing. Right. And then you get on the and then I was driving back and forth to Baltimore. I was driving back and forth to Boston. I was doing these long trips. But I don't get angry with other people in the car.
I've seen you get pretty fucking angry. Are you kidding?
I mean, like, the worst I'm going to say is, like, fuck you.
I'm sorry. Let's just pivot to, I just remembered, I completely forgot this happened. We're in LA. Andrew's acting a little weird. You're being a little bit weird. Whenever Andrew's being weird, it's always something insane. It's always something insane that has happened. If he's being a little bit quiet, and he usually reveals it like a day later.
I can't believe I forgot this.
Andrew is like in the apartment in LA. He like looks at me and he's like, no, like you keep looking out the window. Like you're very nervous. You're being shifty. You're looking out the window.
Yeah, I'm looking out the window.
And you're like, I basically like accidentally cut someone off in traffic.
Yeah.
And they got really mad at me.
Okay. This is my story. I was making a left. She was coming straight. I didn't see her. It was a mistake. So then I cut her off. And what ensued was road rage at its finest. Because, first of all, I didn't see her, so now I'm pissed. Like, she almost hit me, but, like, you could have slowed down. You see me coming out. It wasn't a major road. Like, you could have slowed down. So then, whatever. So I'm turning. She's almost hitting me. Then I'm like, what the fuck? She's then riding my ass, giving me the middle finger out the window. Fuck, whatever, all this different shit. So now I'm like, fuck, whatever. And then
She followed you home.
She followed me home. I pulled into the driveway. No, I think her apartment was across the street.
Oh.
And we didn't even realize.
Oh, is that what happened?
And then I was like so sick to my stomach.
You thought she followed you home. She was just going home.
She was just going home. And I was going home too.
She was just our neighbor.
So then I was looking out the window saying, now.
I thought we were going to die. I thought that was it.
Well, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this sucks because the ones, like, this time that I had to be rageful on the road, like, Joe also needs to now be tied into it because she's going to kill us both. She's going to come in here and kill us.
I actually cannot.
That's the thing about road rage is, like...
You never know.
You never know, but you also are, like... You think that you're, like... the most confident like fighter in that car, and then if you were actually to be confronted with that other person, I'm sick.
Yeah,
I'm sick.
Well, you're sick, period.
Well, yeah, well, we know that. Mentally ill,
and honestly in some ways physically.
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely mentally
is kind of cute. It's a cute name for a girl.
Mentally. You're kind of right.
It's giving the Greek aggression.
What's your thoughts on, for a girl, celery? Because I was really thinking about this. I was like,
celery?
S-E-L-E-R-I. She goes by Ellery.
Why not just name her Ellery? Why not just name her Ellery? You're gonna name her celery. You're gonna set her up for a life of being celery.
Sally.
Why wouldn't you do it like C-E-L-E-I-G-H-R-E-I-G-H?
Oh, that's not bad. Celery. Okay. That's a good one. Celery, and then what was that?
Mentally. I don't know. For me, when it comes to driving, like, I think that genuinely, like, the fear, like, I think it is anxiety. I think anxiety has stopped me from pursuing a career as, like, a race car driver. I think that otherwise I'd be really good at that.
I think that, like, when people see you walking down the street,
they think race car driver.
Yes.
Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like you are, though. Like, were you ever into racing? I know your family's into racing.
Well, that's something that I was just thinking about. Like, there used to be a giant Dale Earnhardt, like, fat head on my basement wall. My dad was very into NASCAR. I think the day Dale Earnhardt died was a really big day in my home. We were upstate. We were at Lake George. Never forget.
Never forget when Dale passed.
Yes. Yeah, it was a big deal at my house. It was serious. It was honestly taken more serious than when my grandpa died.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, because you went to Hannah, Montana, and Dale Earnhardt, like, you had a moment of silence. There was at least a beat was skipped.
Like Dale Earnhardt was my dad's Princess Diana.
I think that, like, you would be a really...
I look like a race car driver. I think.
Don't like. I'm not gonna say that I think that you would be a bad driver. I don't think that
I'd
you would be
so
a bad
good.
driver. I think that you would be a good driver.
I have lore. I have race car lore.
But like, it just comes back to me like, for so long you couldn't cross the street. So I try to think about that. Like,
can't cross the street.
For you on a highway, like I just think that you would shut down.
That's why I can't drive. But if I was a race car driver, I'm not crossing any streets. I'm going in a loop, swerving in and out. And my goal is to be aggressive. I think I have this fear of like being aggressive in a car. Like, I can't imagine being like a defensive driver. You know what I mean?
Okay, so do you think that as you were operating a motor vehicle, like you would like hit cars?
Yeah,
is what
I'd be
you're
afraid
saying?
to offend anyone else on the road.
Because you don't want them to get aggressive towards you.
I don't want to be you.
You don't want to deal with me, yeah.
Or be you in the situation in LA. Like, I don't want to deal with a crisis. Nobody texts me in a crisis.
You don't want to. There it is.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
I remember being like 5 years old at like a Disney, at an amusement park, probably like Hershey Park, which should be a whole episode in and of itself. We should get into Hershey Park.
We should
go to Hershey Park.
I have so much to say about Hershey Park.
Same, a lot. We should go to Hershey Park. We should get those milkshakes. We've been planning this for years. We were going to get up at 6 a.m., drive there, be up there for doors open, get our milkshakes, be leaving by 2 p.m., back by 5.
Let's do it on fall.
Let's do it on fall.
What the hell is going on?
I was race car driving in one of those places, like one of those, like, you know, like those little...
Yeah, of course.
I was, bam, smashing kids out of the way. Bam, smashing kids out of the way. I won, obviously. I got behind that wheel, and I won the race, and I left kids off the side sobbing.
Of course, they were crying.
They were crying.
You kind of
something came over me. The spirit of Dale was calling me.
Dale. It's kind of like Mario Kart. Kind of like Bowser in a car.
Bowser's hot.
Bowser could
fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Bowser could spike me. You know what I mean?
Fuck, marry, kill. Bowser, Luigi, Mario, Toad. Cut Luigi out of it.
Okay, so Bowser, Mario, and Toad.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely would. I think that I would fuck Mario, marry Bowser, kill Toad. Because the thing about Toad,
he seems like 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like,
after I said it, I was like, I hope he doesn't give Toad any clearance here.
Imagine I was like, yeah. So fuck Toad. Okay, for you, now that we're on the topic of it, fuck, marry, kill. Wario.
Hot.
Can we go like Super Smash Brothers?
Sure, go ahead.
Link.
Yeah.
Kirby.
Now, why would you bring Kirby into this?
Well, because you brought Toad into it.
I think that Kirby would give incredible head.
Because there's so much surface area.
And he's like, isn't he a sucker? Isn't that his whole thing? Doesn't he suck?
Does he suck?
He like absorbs things. Right?
Oh, he does. He gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm really fucking Kirby.
Oh.
I'm marrying Wario because he would treat me right.
Really right.
We have very similar personalities. And I would kill Link.
You just hate Twinks.
No, I don't hate Twinks. I've dated Twinks.
Do you think that Link gives like Troye Sivan energy?
You know what? Homophobia is right. Fox News is right. We have to stop this shit. Not everyone needs a podcast. We've gone too far. Like, that sentence, what we've just talked about is deplorable.
Yeah, oh, well, absolutely.
Do I think Link gives Troye Sivan energy? No.
Okay, thank you.
Do you?
I think that they could be pretty similar.
Do you think? I feel like Troy is more... I don't really know much about Zelda.
Oh, well, you don't know the legends of...
Nothing about.
Well, I can educate you off air.
Could you?
Let's just save it for another day.
All right.
When's the last time that
I drove?
Yeah, when's the last time that you drove?
It's my binocular vision dysfunction, and I'm not kidding. I'm serious. My BVD stopped me from going to the DMV. Because when I'm driving down a road, this was always my problem. My dad would be like, "You're on the left side." Maybe it's because I was born to be European. I was always driving on the left side because I was like, I'm so close to those cars on the right. I was so close to the parked cars. And he's like, "You're really not. Like, how can you not tell that?" I'm like, I have bad depth perception. Yeah. And I'm seeing double of every fucking car on the road.
You were born to be British. That's what it is. Because they don't drive on the other side of the road in Europe. Only in British dominated or like owned countries.
You're so worldly.
That's just me. That's just me.
I was born to be. I think that like I was switched at birth.
I mean, I've been thinking it my whole entire life.
That I was switched at birth?
Yeah, I said you're from Australia.
Yeah, you have. You've been saying Australia since day one.
I mean, your face gives Australian. And I
but it doesn't make any sense. There's no like unless you're talking about like Aboriginal Australians. There's no cultural like.
You give a white person in Australia. I don't know how to put it. I don't know what else to say. Like
I just like anyone, like a white person. Period. I give white.
Yes, but like specifically, like I don't know. But like when you were 10 years old, like looking at your face, I was just Australian. Like you looked like. Either Australian or like from New Zealand, like Lord, like you look like like that of that.
Today I found out how much gas is. That's crazy. I owe you some money. I owe you a couple bucks.
Well, I would say that you owe me a few bucks, but you know what? It's fine.
At this point, maybe in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Drives to. I mean, we really haven't driven far together. Sometimes I fill up a tank and I don't even ask. When we drive far, I
think I do try to put.
Yeah, you do. You'll be like, I'll get your lunch. Like you do take care of it that way. Just like on the day to day though, like since high school.
Yeah, I didn't know. Who knew?
Like I was getting the gas.
Who knew about gas?
Well, I would say people that like definitely have a license.
Someone should have told me.
I think you could have like looked at the rates like when you pass a gas station.
My binocular vision dysfunction.
You were gonna milk this dysfunction. You know how many dysfunctions I have?
Should we get into the story?
I think we do.
I think I've told this story.
I feel like you might have. I think we did.
Maybe on Patreon.
Just at
Whatever.
this point, who
If
cares?
I never told the story before. Let's just pretend.
Yeah, and if we did, we did.
It's October 2020. Deep in the pandemic. You know, we've come through. We're almost on the other side, but things are still pretty fucking bad. No election yet. So actually things are still pretty tough.
Yeah.
No sign of a vaccine. Me and Andrew are living at home. We're burning more calories than we're consuming.
For sure.
To say the least. I have an online boyfriend. I have a boyfriend who's long distance, who I met on the internet.
And this, okay, before we get into the story, I was really thinking about this. I was like, I, on my end, do a really good job of supporting you in any endeavor that you have with a man.
That must stop.
It has to stop.
I wish
but I
someone
actually
stopped me.
cannot
Believe.
imagine if I was talking
was you.
to an online boyfriend that didn't live in this state, and he says, I'm gonna come to New York,
Andrew,
and I
this
say,
happens to you a lot.
I'm gonna get us a hotel room. No, Joe. I can't even fathom it.
It wasn't a hotel room. It was a cottage. I got
A
us
cottage.
I got you a hotel room.
You got me a hotel room. I can't even process the information correctly.
Yeah. So we'd been like FaceTiming for like a month. He was moving to New York like post, you know, it was pandemic. We were home.
Yeah.
Everyone's plans were weird. So he was going to move to New York. But prior to that, like we were just going to be like online boyfies. It was very cute. He was very sweet. Surprise, I'm coming to New York. Great. I'm not going to host him at my parents' house. Also, it's the middle of a pandemic. And like, I've taken the pandemic arguably too seriously. I would say if there's a way of taking a pandemic too seriously, I had accomplished that.
I mean, like, we were, again, I wasn't going anywhere, and I was living at my house, and we would still hang out 10 feet apart from each other in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Andrew, have you given me reason to trust you?
Just because I don't wash my hands doesn't mean that you shouldn't trust me.
Now I trust.
I'm kidding. Of course I wash my
hands. Now I
hands.
trust you, but again,
My hands might smell like onions and garlic as right now because I didn't wash my hands post chopping vegetables. But that's fine. People do that.
So it nets on, I'm like, you know what? I found a lovely cottage in Quogue. And we're going to stay at this cottage in Quogue for the night. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. How the hell am I going to get to Quogue? Quogue is out east. It might as well be the Hamptons. Who's going to take me to Quogue? Who is going to pick up this boy, and take us both to Quogue? Who do I know that would do this?
Everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. Andrew.
So here's the other issue. Andrew was, because let's all accept it. You have a good heart. You're a good heart, kind soul, kind spirit.
And in my shoes here, when Joe asks, obviously my first reaction is, yeah. But what I'm thinking is, I'm getting the inside scoop. Like, we've been talking about this internet boyfriend for a little bit, and I'm now going to be able to face this on head on, have him in my back seat, and like listen to the conversation, get the dynamic, and get the tea that people wanted.
And Andrew was willing to drive us all the way out east and drive himself back home and then pick us up in the morning and drive me back. Like, that was the plan.
Yeah.
But I couldn't risk that because I was lying to my parents and saying that me and Andrew were going out east together to Shelter Island, nonetheless. To Shelter Island, home of the crime. So I'm like, Andrew, you can't come back to Massapequa because what if on Broadway, somewhere, you run into my parents?
Yes.
So what do? I book Andrew an all-inclusive one-night stay at the Riverhead, Long Island Holiday Inn. Off the highway.
It was right off the highway, right next to the outlets. Absolutely gorgeous. And the thing about this was like, I was like, Joe, you literally don't need to get me a hotel room. You're getting yourself a cottage stay.
No rent money. This is COVID. I'm living with my parents.
Yeah.
I had no rent to pay. I had no bills to pay. Student loans gone. Nothing. I had money to blow.
A
cottage and a hotel room.
So
if I could take it back, I would.
was like, Joe, stop. I decided to go to the hotel room. But
so you pick us up. Andrew picks me up. I honestly probably live on my Finsta telling everyone about what's happening. We pick up the boy. I'm not going to comment on that side of things. You know, I'll keep all that private.
What was happening at the cottage?
Well, obviously, but no, like picking him up, like all of that, like the him part of the story is separate.
No, I will say we can keep him out of the dialogue. I will say though, in my shoes though, while I thought it was gonna be for the tea for everybody, I have never felt
more uncomfortable,
a discomfort like that.
Really?
It's just like I wasn't talking to this man. You know what I mean? You both sat in the back seat. So you both sat in the back seat. And I was definitely like operating the car in the front, as one does. And it just felt weird. It definitely just felt weird. And like there were some songs that played that it just like there were like some like love songs that were on, and I was like, kiss me beneath the milky twilight.
Yeah, that was like playing as we pulled up.
And I'm just like silent smiling like as they're like meeting each other for the first time IRL.
You weren't there for that. That happened like in the house.
Yeah, but I was still like post 10 minutes.
Yeah, you were there.
Anyways, dropped them off the quad club.
How'd your day go? Weren't you ripping a bong in a car with a college student?
Yeah, I was definitely talking to a college student that day, and like he definitely drove for a little bit to like meet me, and I was like, you don't have to do this. Like it does sound like I'm gonna kill you, but like I literally am not. Like I'm the least.
He came to the River at Holiday Inn.
He came to the River at Holiday Inn. We had an amazing time. We got McDonald's. We had some fun. We smoked a little bit, and by the end of it, we were really great friends.
Oh,
we were really great friends. Miss him. That experience definitely put into perspective. Like, there are moments where you don't have to say yes.
But you regret it?
No, I don't regret it. I think I had an amazing, amazing time, and I'm happy that you had an amazing time as well. And the reason you had an amazing time is because I had a car. And like, if you think about driving that way, like, it wouldn't have been the same if you got an Uber.
It would have been great if I had a car. I would have saved money on a hotel room.
Yeah.
But, you know, was it going to be forever, or was it going to go down in flames? And it went down in flames. It went down in flames.
It went down in flames.
It went down in flames. And then we get in the car. We drop him back off at his friend's house. We're driving home. Trump rally. Trump train. Stuck in the Trump train.
Stuck in a Trump train.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. I don't know if this happened around the world or if it was specifically to Long Island. I'm sure it was not specific to Long Island. But in 2020, there would just be like large pickup truck protests where like 400 people would drive their cars covered in Trump flags and like fuck Biden flags like down the highways.
Yeah,
around election season.
Fuck Brandon or something.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Fuck Brandon.
Fuck Brandon. It was definitely a really interesting time. I know that some of our listeners probably do operate a pickup truck, and by all means, please get the Dodge Ram. But would you say the probability of someone who owns a pickup truck, I would say 80%, wouldn't
hesitate to run us down?
Yes. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
Hesitate to smear the queer.
Drive over my head.
Yeah.
And just not even look back.
And that's Long Island.
That's Long Island. Speaking of smearing.
Ew, Andrew! Disgusting.
Yeah. Speaking of a smear.
So, it's 2016. A friend who was an ex-friend, who was a friend again, who is now an ex-friend again in real time, was hosting a high school get-together. This is 2 years after graduation. Andrew did not go to my high school. For some reason, Andrew's coming. For some reason. Nevertheless,
again,
you persist.
People are like, oh, you guys we're just saying that we're codependent. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell?
Well, someone had to drive me. Someone had to
drive Joe.
So Andrew's coming to the party. There's one thing about, I think, probably most human beings with an ounce of self-respect and dignity, put you in front of an onion dip, a sour cream and onion dip, obliterated.
You put me in front of any dip,
It's gone.
It's gone. You have to worry because
I'm always worried.
Last night
I was worried.
Last night you said you better have some of this buffalo chicken dip before Andrew gets here because it will be gone.
Because I've seen you behave in front of a Trader Joe's buffalo chicken dip, and I know that the buffalo chicken dip does not stand a chance when you were in the room.
I'm like, I shouldn't be having it. Like, again, I should not be having it. I know I'm gonna have a miserable day the next day. Like, it's like, and today I'm like not doing well, and I haven't told you that.
No,
Joe, like, what's going on?
It's
like
really
something
bad.
happened.
Well, we had pizza, we had buffalo chicken dip, we had the sour cream and onion dip. We had Ralph's.
Anyways, we go to this party. There's an onion dip, and it's like a large bowl of onion dip.
Like I would say one of the biggest bowls of onion dip I've ever seen in my entire life.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is the best day ever. Like, yeah, onion dip, one thing. A big bowl of onion dip, a completely different situation.
Did you break the lemonade dispenser there?
I absolutely did.
We're on not great terms with the host. You know, like it's like we're like rekindling this friendship. Andrew, within about 10 minutes of being there, completely annihilates the lemonade.
So, yeah, because you know what? With those dumb things, like, you're trying to use that little spout. Come on. It's like nobody that I know. It's Joe's friends from high school. I'm sitting in this girl's backyard. There's an onion dip in front of my face. So, that's my friend. I befriended the onion dip, and there was a box of munchkins right next to it. And I popped those munchkins open. Like, I remember saying, can I open these? And I did. And I had about 15, and I ate the onion dip. And at this time of my life, like it was high school, right? So like I didn't. No,
this was 2016.
2016.
Was like you were like mid college.
Yeah, but I still like didn't even think twice when it came to food. Like I don't now really either. But like sometimes I have a consciousness of being like, Andrew, like stop eating this much, or like maybe you can pull back a little.
Right.
Then I was like, the food is here. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah. And you did.
I did.
And then I just remember the night turning for you really abruptly. Did you come up to me?
I did.
I think it was almost it was clear on your face. I think you were just sitting alone at the table in agony.
If I have to throw up, I get very silent. I get really, really silent. If I have to if I have to shit, I'm going to get red in the face and I'm going to start sweating.
And it was a combo.
So I was quiet, red in the face, and sweating.
And I knew trouble was a brew. I knew something bad was about to happen.
Yeah.
I think you gathered the troops. You took me and Gabby. You said, we got to go right now. We got to leave right this instant. I'm about to shit my pants.
And like, why couldn't I go in their house? Like, again, I knew it was
going to be an easy trip.
Cause a problem for the plumbing. So, no,
the last thing you needed was to ask for a plunger.
If I can't break the lemonade spout and also clog their fucking pipes
and clear the dip.
And clear the dip. Like, no, I can't be known as that person.
Well,
so we're like leaving. I'm on edge.
We run out of this house as fast as we can in full panic mode because Andrew is about to shit his pants. We make it to the curb. We're in Andrew's car. We look up. The host is running down the driveway saying, stop. You have to come back for the cupcakes. You have to have a cupcake.
And okay, so at this point, I'm actually I'm disassociating.
You're like, oh my god, I would love a cupcake.
You know I love to bake.
Thank you so
I went
much.
in there and she was like, it's like this s'mores cupcake.
Ferrero Rocher.
She's like, let me know what you think.
Andrew you go, oh my god, it's so good.
It literally was like a true, that's when I put publicity in real time. I was like, this was my yogurt water. I was like,
oh my god, I love it.
Oh my god, I love it. And it really was, it sent me over the edge. So we're probably
40 minutes out from our
home.
We make it back in 20.
We made it back in 20 minutes. I told you both to strap in. You both knew what you were getting yourself into. I was not pleasant on the way back.
No, but you actually although you weren't pleasant, Hairspray was on.
Yeah.
You Can't Stop the Beat was playing, and you were hitting every note.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the show must go on. Right?
I remember you driving as fast as you possibly could on the southern state, sweating like cramping,
like
moaning.
Yeah.
Oh, and then going, you can't stop an avalanche as it races down the hill, and like swerving and screaming.
I think that they made that song for people who are on the edge of shitting. Like, you can't stop my beat. Like, just because like you try as you will,
you could try to change the hand of time,
but
you know you never will.
You know you never will. So yeah, we made it back in 20 minutes, and then what happened in the bathroom stays in the bathroom, but it was definitely like a scream smack of the wall situation. We've all been there.
I've never been there.
You've never smacked the wall?
No, I've never like given birth while shitting. Like, that's the difference between us.
It's actually like, I literally can't believe that this is like on the reg for me. You're not like, oh my God, oh! Not like that.
Good children to the guidance office.
Why do people want to listen to this podcast?
Andrew, I was thinking the same thing.
I was like, as I'm talking about like shitting my brains out, I'm like,
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm obsessed with everybody wants to, but
I was like, why?
Hi guys, it's Shay. I wanted to ask you guys like a question, which is, what do you think makes someone a hero, and what do you think makes someone a villain?
What makes someone a hero? I think like if they like leave a lasting impact, you know what I mean? Whether that's a pop diva, that's someone who saved a life, that's like a good Italian sandwich, like that's a hero. They're leaving an impact.
You don't think that villains could leave impacts?
Yes. Well, I guess a positive impact, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? I think that's just the easiest way to define it.
What's a villain? What?
A villain, I would say, is someone who is like looking at the dark side of things, the negative side, trying to suck energy out of a space. Like, you know what I mean?
I would say the difference between a hero and a villain is branding.
You elaborate.
I think that Harry Potter, for example, like Gryffindors are heroes because like they said they're heroes, and like Slytherins are villains because like they said they're villains.
Like,
but
Draco is like a villain, but he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and like some people like see themselves as heroes. I think people who see themselves as heroes are often the villains.
I never said I was the hero. That's so weird.
Hi, it's Becky. I just called, but I'm calling again because one of my favorite parts of the podcast is you all singing at the very end.
Thank you.
I always look forward to hearing what song you chose. Just wondering how you choose them. Oh, my sister is calling. I gotta go, but yeah, okay, bye.
I love the succinctness of that one.
Thank you, Becky. It was like, how do you choose that song? Well, listen, I think that we choose the song because like it just pops in our head, but also at the same exact time, like
sometimes you make it thematic.
Normally, I feel like it's either we like brought it up,
yeah,
or like it's on theme with the episode.
Like this week, it's either I think "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Richer, "Hero" by Mariah Carey,
or I think that we've done road trips and we did "Life's the Highway." Yeah. So
Shut
like
Up and Drive.
Shut Up and Drive is a good one.
Good children to the cafeteria. Today's snack of the week is from Trendy Treats. If you're like me, on your TikTok For You page, you're seeing non-stop freeze-dried food. Mm-hmm. It's freeze-dried candies. And they got me. They finally got me. I've been using TikTok Shop. I used it to buy the Reputation vinyl. And I used it to buy these Trendy Treats freeze-dried caramel apple pops. You know the caramel apple pops.
Of course.
We know them. We love them. May we raise them. May we be them.
Yes. They're not. Not everybody is a fan. Is what I've recently found out.
Which is tough. It's tough to accept something like that. Did you know that my screen time this week was 5 hours? I'm going down and down. I used to be 10 hours a week.
Joe, that's crazy to me.
Because I have Instagram and TikTok blocked at almost all times, except for like 3 hours a day in the middle of the day, and I can log on, I can post, I can scroll, but I have not mindlessly scrolled in a week now. Ugh. And I feel myself getting physically better for it. If you don't like the sound of chewing, go ahead and skip this part. It's so good.
It's so good. The flavor is insane.
I remember seeing the video and thinking it would really hurt my teeth. Not at all.
Oh, it's a perfect fall little treat.
And just like that.
Just like that. I want to get behind the freaking wheel.
Maybe I'll learn to drive this year.
I want to drive with you.
No, you don't.
I want to be... No, I want to document it for sure. But I do want to, like, say bye to a few people before I, like, get in the car.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's Good Children. We'll see you next week with a brand new episode. Until then, don't forget to do your homework.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, write a little something sweet. Please, write a little something sweet.
And follow us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe.
I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella and on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie. And all I'm gonna say is, like, we have some nuts things that are coming up in October, and I'm really very excited for everybody to hear and see.
That a hero lies in you.
So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you.